Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy. This is a different clip from the rest of the video because something happened to it. So this is a channel about cross stitch and crafting, mostly cross stitch. Editing the video, I'm missing a whole piece. Don't know what happened to it, so I have to record this part of the video over again, the whole introduction. So yay me. I'm going to try to get as much done right now as I can. If it's a little bit rushed, it's because I'm really pressed for time this weekend and I really want to get this video up because I've had it for a month, but my WIPs haven't changed. So that being said, this is going to be my WIP parade with my current WIPs right now as it stands, things that I hope to get done. Not done, but I mean things that I want to put my hands on relatively soon. So let's start. This first one is Praiseworthy Stitches Bump Into Night. It looks like this. I'm stitching this on a piece of volcano stitching, 16 count Aida. This is where I've gotten on that. You might see this again in my floss tube after this, if it's something that I worked on, and it's going to be the same because I'm filming this after that when this video should have been before that. So it is what it is. This is where I'm at with that. I've added a lot on this this past couple of months. I did not show you guys this one. So this is a TARDIS that I received. If you guys remember, a couple of years ago, I received a bunch of stuff from New Craft Day and I think VIP Cross Stitch, or I can't remember the name of it. They sent me a bunch of kits to show on the channel and I did. And then if the video had over 500 views, they sent me more. And so I ended up with extra. So this is where I'm at on that. It's kind of starting to take shape. It is so confetti heavy. I'm seriously doubting the process, but just like I hate, I'm gonna trust the process. So you can see I got a good chunk of the TARDIS done and then some of this stuff here. Am I holding it upside down? No, it's right side up. So you can't even tell. There's a lot of blue here, which is making me nervous. I mean, it is a bunch of blue. I'm thinking of the exploding TARDIS. This is not the exploding TARDIS, but I've got this corner complete and then I got put it in a frame and started stitching the middle. I really like stitching stamped pieces in hand though. And so that's that. These are things that I really want to get my hands on this year. I also have this. Oh, my carpet guys are here. This is, again, one of those kits that I got from the company. So the next clip is going to be a little bit later, I guess. This is where I'm at with that. Not a whole lot you can't see because this has a lot of light colors, mostly on the bottom here that I have complete. Put it in a frame and started here on the face a bit. Can kind of see it taking shape, but not really. Again, kind of doubting the process as well with that. Okay, so looking back, it looks like that's it. I swear, every time I get on, my hair is just freaking crazy. I think the other stuff I'll just save because some of it's new patterns that I ended up showing in the video that's going to show after this. So that'll be that. I'm gonna get this video together and post it today. Today is Saturday, March 1st. This I don't think is a WIP. Not yet. It's something that, oh, my ears. I really, 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 really want to start this, and I haven't yet. It is Gandalf. He is my absolute favorite character from Lord of the Rings. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings in general, and I have so many other characters that I absolutely love, but Gandalf just hits different. Ian McClellan just did a fabulous job of making Gandalf come to life, and I am just obsessed with him. Anyway, so yeah, the Aidas, the stamped kits, I want to say those are all like 11 count cross stitch. So here is all of my floss. This is the ones that I had to thread. This is one of the methods. I also tried again. I have since found a different method that works better for me. Here's some of that. And then I had a bunch already bobbinated. So here's the bobbinated ones. And then I don't remember, these are either repeats or a thread that I haven't done yet. And so if it calls for more than one skein, I'll only do one. on here and then leave the other here. And so there's that. Yeah, because I can see several of like this brown color. So, and then bobbins, if you guys are OGs, I used to purchase eBay and Mercari lots of cross stitch stuff when I was first getting started on cross stitch. And I had found an awesome lot of cross stitch stuff. It's been years now, probably like 6 or 7 years of floss, and it was like 10 of those boxes that you put the bobbins in filled with the floss, and it was so cheap, less than $100, and it came with some other stuff too, I want to say. And then when I got it, it all smelled like smoke, and that wasn't in the listing, was that it came from a smoker's home. And so I had to sanitize. I sprayed sanitizing air stuff on all of the floss. I let it come out and I let it rest. And then as time has come on, I've been checking, you know, I've been using them. None of them ended up stained, at least as far as I've used them. And they no longer smell like smoke. When I unraveled them, they're not discolored, so that's been awesome too. And they ended up giving me a 50% of my money back because of that. And I kept them. Others wouldn't have, but I did. You know, my ex-husband at the time smoked, so it wasn't like something I was totally put off with. But they're not, the discoloration was what I was concerned about. They weren't, it was just the smell, not the direct smoke, so it wasn't discolored, at least from what I could tell anyway. They're not discolored, they don't smell like smoke. And this is my Gandalf. He is going to be stitched on some random piece of something that I got from somewhere. When I was buying lots, I did test swatches to see what was going to be the best. Tent ended up not 2/1. Tent is not thick enough. I feel like 2/2 is too thick. So I'm going to come in with 1/1, and I'm just going to go for it. I hate stitching 1/1 because I don't like the way the thread feels, but we're just going to go for it. I don't know what count this is. I feel like this is 22 count. Honestly, I might try something else. Looking at the measurements and try something else. That's part of why I haven't started it, because I really like stitching 2/2. It feels better in my hand, and just overall. So remember, this is what's in my WIP bin. Just because it's not started doesn't mean that, like, it's not in my head. Like, if it's in my WIP bin, it's things that I have full intentions of stitching on. Active. Here's something else I haven't started yet, but I want to. So I found this Stormtrooper on, let me see. I don't know. Does it say? That's the thing with Etsy patterns, is that they don't tell you where they're from. Like, if you're going to sell, full disclaimer, I don't make charts because I don't have the patience to sit there and create a chart. I've never been able to draw, and I don't have that artistic skill. But if you're creating charts, you should invest in Adobe so that you can, when you create these PDFs, you can edit what's on here so that you can put the title, you can put the name of your company, you can add the cover page properly. This just says Stormtrooper chart on it. I couldn't tell you, it's not on any of these pages at all. So in one of the lots that I got, I had this 28 count Jubilee Zweigart piece of, I don't know, what is Jubilee? Linen? No, it feels like Lugana of some sort, or Joblin, I don't know. But anyway, it's just a black piece of fabric. That's a needle, that's marking my center point, so I know where to start this bad boy. I haven't started it yet, solely for the reason that, it's not that I don't have a small enough Q-snap. I want to invest in more Q-snaps. So that's something that I also want to do. I made a lot of my Q-snaps. This, not Q-snaps, snap frames. This is a frame that I made with the PVC. I still have the elbows, but I want a smaller pipe. This, I did 1/2 inch or 1/4. This is 3/4. I want to do 1/2. because this is too big and these barely fit on here. And then with the fabric, they barely, like I can't roll too much of the fabric on here because it's just too thick. So I want to do a smaller pipe, maybe smaller handles. I don't know. I'm going to try it and see. But this is super easy. You could get, or at least before, you could get a whole 10-foot pole of this for $3. This was before COVID. It was like $3.50. You could cut it. I got a whole box of elbows for like $8 or $9, less than $10, and I made 5 or 6 frames out of it. So I plan on doing it again, just to make it work for me. And these, if you want to make your own Q snaps or snap frames, these are tarp. I want to say tarp handles, but I don't think it's tarp handle. It is called, I don't know, but it's like tarp holder or tarp grip or something like that. And these will come up. And then again, match the size to whatever size of PVC you're using. So again, Stormtrooper, I have an extra Q snap. There's an actual Q snap this time. Next one I have is a Witchy Stitcher design of one of the monster houses. Right here. That's what it looks like. I got the full extended version. So if you're in her Facebook group, the main pattern is only this. I got the pattern that had all of the different designs. So my top is different. I've got the extended rooms on the sides and the extended outside areas. The original pattern doesn't have any of that. Let me see if I have a picture of the original pattern. I don't think I do because I knew from the get-go coming in. Oh yeah, I do. That I was going to do the full extended pattern. So you have to pay for this part of the pattern, and then all of the add-ons are free in her Facebook group because most of them are created by customers. So that's what it looks like. It's by Witchy Stitcher. It's the Universal Monster Stitch Along. This is old, several years old. So a lot of them I subbed. So some of the rooms I bought I call them silk. They are the satin DMC ones. That's what they look like. They're kind of not as nice to work with as I was hoping that they would be. Artiste, which is a Hobby Lobby brand, their satin ones are beautiful to work with. I did a whole linen and threads stitch along on that one of their mystery cells, and it was beautiful. But I don't want to talk about Hobby Lobby. So this is where I'm at. I've got a good chunk of the frame done, maybe half, a little more than half. I've done the Invisible Man, started on Elvira, and then started on the Egyptian room. This is the one that I was using the satin threads on, was for the sarcophagi. And again, I'm not happy with the way these are stitching. I'm going to leave them there though, because you can see the sheen in person. You can't see the sheen on the phone, but you know, that's what I have. This is a piece of Aida that I dyed myself. It was 16 count. When you dye it, it shrinks a little bit, so it's closer to 18 now. It's like 17 and a half, because it's like in between the numbers, so I'm just calling it an 18. I dyed it myself to be more like nighttime-esque. I dyed it with Rit dye. So that's a WIP. This is something that I pull out and I want to work on it, but because I have it in this giant frame, this is one of the frames that I made myself. It's thicker, it's heavier, it doesn't fit as nice in my Lowry stand that you can't see right now. And so I want to invest in the extender that Lowry has. I want to get that and see. I feel like that might get in the way of my stitching though. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I just need to get a smaller frame. Because the PVC, that's something with the PVC pipes is they're really heavy. You know, so there's that. The packaging got all dirty from traveling with it. So often this is a stamped piece that I had got from my mom a long time ago for her to stitch. She started it, didn't like it, just cross stitching is just not for her. And she's like, here, I'm going to give it to you. You finish it when you feel like it. And so I have not made hardly any progress on this. Oh, I guess I did make more progress than I thought I did. Started at the bottom, started working my way up. So the whole bottom of the neck is done, and I'm right here. It's got a lot of color blocking. All of the confetti is up here. I'll get there one day. This is such an easy piece. I honestly really just need to like, this is all tangled. Pull it out, get it done, and quit complaining about it is honestly just what I need to do so that I can just clear it from my WIP pile and shut up about it. Okay, next is, I'm not sure, I don't know what's in here. Oh, okay, this is one that I wasn't sure was in here, and it is in here. So this is the Pixel 2021 that I don't think I started in 2021. I probably started it in 2022 because I am impatient, and honestly, I don't like the mystery. And with these kind of styles, I kind of wait several months to see if it's going to look like I want it to look in my head. Or like I'm hoping that it's going to look like, so that I will want to stitch it. So I waited for it to be mostly complete before I even started putting the pattern together. So this is what it's supposed to look like. This is from Pixel Prime Cross Stitch. It's still available on their website from as far as I can tell. And it's like an ode to like old school gaming. This is what it looks like. So I started with the frame, and their website's pixelprimecrossstitch.blogspot.com. But if you look up Pixel Prime, it comes up. They've got several cells up at this point. I checked in December to see if there was any hints about what they were going to do next. I don't think I saw anything, and so let's see if they come up with something. I didn't really care for the cells that they came out with after 2021. The one for 2022 and 2023 I didn't care for. I feel like they skipped a year. I don't know. One of those I just didn't care for as much. So this is where I'm at. And this is the top. Let me double check that that's the top. Yes, because it says high score and it's got the like some numbers at the top. So let me go back. This is what I've got. I've got two corners on here. And so this room, the box is complete. I believe this is complete as well, and like it jumps over to some random blocks here. And am I coming down? Yeah, I missed a box here because that was where my page ended, and so I need to come in and do that. And I think that's where I left off, was I was coming out this way, and then I was also coming out up here too. I get tired sometimes of stitching one area and going back to the other. But I get really tired of stitching frames, and so I try to do as much of the frame in the beginning as I can. So this frame is close to halfway, the halfway point for it, and so I'm pretty excited about that. So that's what I have actually had a really fun time stitching that, which is weird because you would think it would be tedious, and it is, don't get me wrong. So my next one has all this gorgeous thread right here. This is CXC. I love CXC. It does fray a little bit more than DMC does, but I feel like CXC is a little bit softer and fluffier than DMC, so you do get fluffier stitches. So I suggest doing like test stitches on fabric that you're doing. Again, I'm forgetting, this is done on a piece of Silvery Moon Lugana, and I believe this is 28 count. I'm doing this 2/2, so it's essentially like a 14 count one. This is the actual other half of the Silvery Moon Lugana, so I ordered a half a yard from Zweigart or Witchelt, somewhere. Sorry, I hope you're in the same spot because my daughter called. Yeah. So the Silvery Moon Lugana was about a yard from either, I can't remember if it was Zweigart or Wishel, but it's the Zweigart brand. About a yard of this Silvery Moon, and this is half of it, and the other half is on my chatelaine. So this piece is, it's a Heaven and Earth design, artwork by Randall Spangler, called Autumn Magic. So I absolutely freaking love this piece. My thing with Heaven and Earth is I want so badly to be full coverage all the time. I freaking love the way it looks. I love the process of it, but I think the pieces that I end up just falling in love with end up being so confetti, and it could just be nature of the beast doing heaven and earth. So this is as far as I've gotten. I do have some good progress on it, but I feel like it's only like 2%, maybe even 1% or something. It just, and look at all of these sparked threads. I started doing diagonal stitching because it was just making more sense. I struggled learning how to do diagonal stitching. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. So I do like a informal diagonal, so to speak, because I will go if I feel like it's like a good chunk of color. I'll keep going that way. I'm terrified of getting lines in my work, which is part of why I'm doing diagonal. But I don't have my fabric gridded. I feel like that's part of why there's lines. I feel like the ink for the gridded fabric just does something that makes people have lines in their work. I have no idea. So again, this is 20, it should be 28 count Lugana. From, this is when I used to shop at the Hoblob, and you could use your 50% off coupon. So I would go and I would always buy the yard of the 28 count Lugana that they had, and that I have a ton of it. So that's what this is, because it was seriously cheap, like maybe $5 at the time, again before COVID. So that's what this is stitched on. This is also a tent stitch, 2/1 tent. And so the stitches, when they're by themselves, they look pretty sparse, but then when they're all together, it's like it covers it fully. So I do have a piece in my bedroom that I haven't shown, which is I'll put a picture of it here. It is the tarot stitch along from, is it Witchy Stitcher as well? I'll put that here. I'll put what I have done. I don't have a whole lot done, and I'm stitching that on a piece of Ada that I dyed myself also recently. So I'd love to kind of get back into that too, because I really like dyeing fabric. It's such a fun, so I'm trying to clean this up because my kids are on their way home, so I kind of want this cleaned up before they get here. I really love the process of dyeing fabric. It's so much fun to me, and it's just something that I never got into like I wanted to. And so I just said, was content with just dyeing my own stuff. So yeah, there's that. So I can't even remember what colors I use. I think it's just like a black and gray mix on here. And then of course, when you're dyeing it, it comes out a lot lighter, especially on Ada, than it would like a linen, because of the way that the fabric retains the dye. And then I also have another stamped piece on here that somebody sent me as a gift. That's the Halloween, like, not Halloween, all of the like horror dudes, and it says friends on the bottom, and I thought it was cute. I saw somebody else stitch it somewhere and it looked amazing in one of the Facebook groups, and somebody gifted it to me, and I think it's gonna look so cool when it's done. I'll put a picture of the actual thing and the progress that I have on that. Those are the other 2 WIPs that I have in my room, because I started stitching in bed, and so those are like my bed ones when I'm sitting up. But I want to come back into the living room and start stitching in here. I feel like it's better for my mental health to do that. And that's all I have for now. Those are my starting 2025 projects. I do have a couple of other projects that I want to pull out. I have 2 patterns in my Etsy cart that I want to buy. I haven't purchased a pattern in a really long time, and so I really want these 2 patterns. One is a Star Wars one, where it's like these it's Star Wars characters, not copyright, and it's these ornaments that are like hanging down into like different sized or different shapes of Christmas ornaments, and in each one there's like a character. It looks so freaking cool. I'll put a picture here. And then there is a Satsuma Street one that has some circle skulls on it. I'll put a picture as well, so you can see that. Those are the 2 patterns in my Etsy cart that I really want to purchase, that I will. I was going to buy it yesterday, but I had to order a new debit card recently, and I couldn't, because I hadn't updated my payment method on Etsy yet, and I still haven't done it. And so whenever I get around to that, I'll probably purchase those 2 patterns, and then I probably won't. I feel like my hobby of buying patterns is over now. There's a joke in the cross stitch community, if you're new to cross stitch or you're watching me and you don't cross stitch at all, that purchasing patterns and like getting cross stitch materials and actually stitching are 2 different hobbies, and it's totally true. and then like kitting things up, that's a whole different thing. I went through probably like a whole month where I was just kitting stuff up because it's so time consuming, especially if you want to rearrange your floss just like this. It's so time consuming. So that's like a whole different thing before actually starting a project type of thing. When I started cross stitching and started kitting things up and organizing things, I had this crazy idea that when I bought a pattern, I was going to immediately purchase all of the materials for said pattern and put it away so that whenever I wanted to work on it, I could literally just pull it out and it was ready. Now, if you go back a couple of videos, I have like a pattern video of my stash pattern. I had 99% of all those patterns in those binders are not kitted up. So that goes to show you the disconnect there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope I didn't talk too much. I'm sorry that my voice is this way and I'm congested and I'm taking deep breaths. I just can't breathe too well right now. And let's see what 2025 brings. Hopefully I'll be back in a week or two with another video and not another 4 months. I hope so. That's my goal because I really miss the cross stitch community and long form content like this. So let's see what the next video is. I'll talk to you guys later.